Hey guys, Jem here with another book review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Divergent by Veronica Roth. This book was absolutely amazing. It just really infuriated me at some parts. I smacked the book over my friend's head. I was so really just pissed off at some points of the book, and it will piss you off too, mostly if you get attached to characters like how I do. I get attached to the storyline really quickly, and I usually feel like I'm inside the story with the main character. And it just infuriates me how it's omniscient and third point of view where you can see everything that's going on. Anyway, I rate this book a 9 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. And this is Veronica Roth's debut book, Divergent. Most of you have probably read about it, heard about it. There's a movie coming out in March. So it's coming out in 2 months, which is really soon. And I've heard a lot of people rave about it. So I decided, because my friend had the book, I asked her if I could borrow it, and she let me, she loaned it to me. And I finally finished, and I loved it. Now, on to the synopsises. The one on the back, and then I will be reading the one on the inside cover flap, because this is a hardback. One choice. One choice decides your friends. One choice defines your beliefs. One choice determines your loyalties forever. One choice can transform you. Now to the inside cover. In Beatrice Pryor's dystopian Chicago, society is divided into 5 factions, each dedicated to the cultivation of a particular virtue: candor, the honest; abnegation, the selfless; dauntless, the brave; amity, the peaceful; and erudite, the intelligent. On an appointed day of every year, all 16-year-olds must select the faction to which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both. So she makes a choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice renames herself Triss and struggles to determine who her friends really are, and where exactly a romance with a sometimes fascinating, sometimes infuriating boy fits into the life she's chosen. But Triss also has a secret, one she's kept hidden from everyone because she's been warned it can mean death. And as she discovers a growing conflict that threatens to unravel her seemingly perfect society, she also learns that her secret might help her save those she loves, or it might destroy her. Debut author Veronica Roth burst into the literary scene with the first book in the Divergent series, dystopian thrillers filled with electrifying decisions, heartbreaking betrayals, stunning consequences, and unexpected romance. Okay, warning now to stop. If you have not read the book and you don't want any spoilers, you may leave this page now. If you have already read the book and you just want to see what my insight is, stay. Alright. So, in the book, Beatrice, in the beginning, she is born abnegation, the selfless. All the other factions call them stiff because all of them wear the same clothes, same hairstyles, and almost emotionless. It's because they're so selfless. They try not to have vanity and all the, because they are selfless, they're trying to wash out all their vanity and all that other stuff so that they can think about others first. They put others before themselves. So they all dress the same, all have the same hairstyle and everything. So that's that. And Beatrice, it's really hard for her to be able to be all abnegation and selfless and everything. So and when she takes the aptitude test, she gets an inconclusive result. And her, I forgot the word. The person who watches over her, who records the information, Tori, she's from Dauntless. And, well, Beatrice's results were inconclusive, meaning that she was divergent. And so she got sent home early and everything to her family, and in the system it says that she's abnegation. So on the day of the choosing ceremony, she chooses to be in Dauntless, the Brave, which everybody else thinks the Dauntless are like psychopaths and everything. Like, they just go to things to the extreme. So she chooses that. She meets friends. This girl from Candor, Christina, Will, who's from Erudite, and Al, who is from, I believe, Candor too. She meets her friends. She gets together with them and everything, and like, the first couple of initiation tests are very difficult, I'd have to say. She has to learn how to fight in stage 1. In the second stage, it has to do with her mental capacity. So she gets put through these simulations so that she has to face her worst fears. And in the third one is when she goes onto the fear planes, which will bring her fears like really like out there. And like, the leaders of Dauntless can see and record her reactions and everything, and how fast she got out of her fear. But back to the beginning, there are these other initiates who are transfers like her. She's the only abnegation, aka stiff, as she's called, until she has been proven otherwise. She is the first to jump off the roof, so she has been memorable because of that. And she meets Four, who is actually Tobias, who left 2 years before from abnegation because of his father, Marcus. And she doesn't know that he's Tobias. She doesn't know anything about Four, but apparently they got this like attraction towards each other and everything, and they are the main romance in the series. The one I said before, Al, is friends with her too, and he likes her, but she doesn't like him, which makes me feel sad for him. And Will and Christina do end up being together, but in the end, Will dies because he's being mind controlled and everything, and I'll get to that a little bit later. Al commits suicide because of his actions. He kidnaps Beatrice along with another transfer, Drew, and another transfer, Peter. Because Peter was trying to like scare Triss, and it mostly looked like he was trying to kill her, most likely. Because he is from Candor, and, well, he's just a big liar. Candor is supposed to be all honest and everything. He's just a big fat liar, and he gets what he wants. And if he wants something, he will try to get it no matter what. So, that's that. Peter has stabbed Edward, another transfer, in the eye for being the better fighter and being ranked number 1. And Peter was second, so then he bumped himself up by stabbing Edward in the eye. And Edward and Myra is Edward's boyfriend, and they leave. I mean, Edward's girlfriend, my bad, sorry. And they leave. They quit, they leave Dauntless, and they become factionless, and you don't hear about them ever again. Well, in this book, at least. I hope they come back. I don't know, I like them somewhat, but they were minor characters. And Al commits suicide, I think I said this already, because of his actions. And because Triss won't forgive him because of what he's done, and she feels like really betrayed. Will and Christina get together. I'm gonna like speed through this a little bit because I'm sort of running out of time. And Triss and Tobias get together. She finds out who he is because he lets her. And because he's called Four, because he only has 4 fears. When they go through through the fear field. I think I can't remember anything now. I'm blanking out. And well, the Dauntless leaders have joined with the Erudite leaders, Jeanne, who is a real bitch. Excuse my French, but she's a real bitch. And they work together to kill the abnegation. They have been trying to find out who is Divergent and who is not. The Divergent can break the simulations that Jeanne has created, and so they pose a real threat, because the simulations are like mind control things. So Will was mind controlled, Tori was mind controlled, Christina was mind controlled, and everybody else, like all the Dauntless are all mind controlled because they've been trained to fight and everything. So the Erudite, instead of fighting themselves, they use the Dauntless as an army for them. And the Dauntless leaders know what they're doing. So that's like really terrible, I think. And apparently Tobias is Divergent too. So near the I'm really skimming now. Near the end, I can't say this. If Triss finds out that her mother used to be in Dauntless, and her mother was Divergent, and her mother's mother, I'm confusing myself. Her mother's mother tells her mother, I'm probably confusing all you guys, just like rewind and just take this slowly. Her grandmother tells her mother to go to a safer faction, and so she chose abnegation so that they don't find her since she's Divergent. And Tori was the one that warned in the beginning after the aptitude test that Tori warns Triss that she's Divergent and to never tell anybody because it's really dangerous because her own brother was Divergent and he was killed by the Dauntless leaders. And Jeannin has started a war between, well, not really a war, she's like, because the abnegation can't fight. So she's basically trying to control everybody. She's killing all the abnegation because most of the Divergents have to come from abnegation, which I have a theory about, which I will talk about a little bit later. And so Tobias got mind controlled by a different simulation that Jeannin had made specifically for the Divergents. And they break out of the simulation. Peter was never mind controlled because of who he is. I mean, come on now. If you read through the book, you'll understand. They take Marcus, who is Tobias's father, who used to abuse him. Tobias, Caleb, who is Triss's brother. I was about to say sister. And Triss. And some other abnegation. They all go to Amity in the end. They shut down the simulation. They kill it. And did I say Triss killed Will? It makes me so sad because he was one of her best friends. Oh, and there's this guy, Uriah, who's a Dauntless-born initiate, who is one of her friends too. So it's like, she doesn't know what happened to the rest of her friends because she knows that Will died. And she knows that Al is dead, like, way before this war thing. And so there was that, and they leave on the train in the end. So my theory about why the abnegation are the ones that are Divergent is because, like, you can do a lot of things. Like, the Candor, by being honest, you can be selfless. I mean, because the abnegation are selfless, I think that because selfless, you can do anything to be, like, being selfless. Candor, the honest, you can be honest to somebody, tell them the truth, and be selfless that way, and the truth might help them. Brave, you can be brave and protect somebody, and that's selflessness. Amity, peaceful, trying to have peace for other people, that's selfless. And erudite, you can use your intelligence to help other people, so selfless. So that's my theory on why people are like, why the people from abnegation, the children from abnegation, are the ones that are Divergent more often than others. Because Tori and her brother were from erudite, and her brother was Divergent, and Triss's mother was from Dauntless, and she was Divergent. So there's my take on that. Alright, next book I'm going to be reading, because I'm borrowing this from a friend, so I have to give it back to her, like, straight away. So I am very sorry, the one who sent me the ebook, you know who you are. I'm actually going to be reading your ebook over the weekend. So, I'll be reading it over the weekend so I can, give you back my, intake on it. So this is the one I'm going to be reading next, Teardrop by Lauren Kate. She's the one that made the Fallen series. And I heard a lot of good books about it. I mean, I got a lot of good things about this book. And it's her newest book, so I'm going to be reading it next. So that's my intake on Divergent, a 9 out of 10. I really recommend it, and I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye!